Life insurers put life into the things you live for. The new factory that's hiring your neighbors. Maintenance on the bridge that keeps traffic flowing. The paycheck that puts pizza night on the table. Life insurers contribute $8 trillion to the U.S. economy through bond purchases and other investments, and protect the financial security of 90 million American families, like yours. See how life insurers put life into America at acli.com. Paid for by the American Council of Life Insurers.
Psoriatic arthritis symptoms can be unpredictable.
I had joint pain, and I couldn't move like I used to.
I needed relief.
I got Cosentix.
It helped me move better.
Cosentix secukinumab is prescribed for people 2 years of age and older with active psoriatic arthritis. Don't use if you're allergic to Cosentix. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. An increased risk of infections and lowered ability to fight them may occur, like tuberculosis or other serious bacterial, fungal, or viral infections. Some are fatal. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms like fevers, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, had a vaccine or plan to, or if inflammatory bowel disease symptoms develop or worsen. Serious allergic reactions and severe eczema-like skin reactions may occur. Learn more at 1-844-COSENTIX or Cosentix.com.
Ask your rheumatologist about Cosentix.
So, you just started using LinkedIn Premium. Now what? Well, on your premium company page, you noticed around 7.5 times more page engagement and 5 times more page views. Well done. And now, new clients are messaging you. All because you're using LinkedIn Premium, which helps you get the business growth you want. Think big, small business. Think big. Start your free trial at linkedin.com/premium small business. That's linkedin.com/premium small business.
Today's show is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You chose to hit play in this podcast today. Smart choice. Make another smart choice with Auto Quote Explorer to compare rates from multiple car insurance companies all at once. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Did you know that Game Pass or Pass is brought to you for free because of Spotify for podcasters? It's a totally free platform, and you can make a podcast today for free. Spotify for podcasters lets you record and edit podcasts right from your phone or computer. So no matter what your setup is like, you can start creating today. Then you can distribute your podcast to Spotify and everywhere else that podcasts are heard. And if you're thinking about taking your podcast to the next level with a video podcast, Spotify can help you too. With Spotify for podcasters, you can also earn money in a variety of ways that includes ads and podcast subscriptions. So what are you waiting for? Download the Spotify for Podcasters app or go to spotify.com/podcast to get started right now.
It's now time for the second edition of this very light episode of Game Pass or Pass, the podcast where we play games on Microsoft's Game Pass service and tell you which games to pass on to your friends and maybe which games to just, be like, nah, bro, not for me. I am Corey. I am joined by the Guardian himself, the Guardian. You should feel lucky to be in the presence of this. He's got so much light. He's like HDR. Basher.
Am I like the chosen one Guardian? The one that they keep talking about at the tower? Could that be dope?
Yeah, that's you. That is you. You're a quest
snap.
giver.
Wait,
you've ascended to quest giver in the Destiny lore. How does it feel?
I feel like that is a title worth like if you lived the life of a MMOer, you would want to be eventually a quest giver.
They should do that. They should give one person that title. Or maybe like have it be like a rotating thing. Like,
how bored would you be though? Like,
I don't know, man. I feel like that's like you've like ascended, at that point. Like you are a different life at that point.
I mean, there was an RPG. Not to go too far off topic. There was an RPG a while ago where you play what do you call it? A like a store owner for other people, for other quest goers.
Talking about Moonlighter?
I don't know what the name of it is. I didn't play it.
Interesting. That's a good game, though, Moonlighter. We're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Destiny 2, but we're going to derail it just as we start. Do you want to win? I have in my hands an Xbox Game Pass Ultimate 1-month subscription. We're going to be giving that away this month. All you got to do is leave us a review. The first 3 people that leave us a review, you will be randomly chosen to win this 1-month card. All you got to do is leave us a review on iTunes or your favorite podcast service and shoot us a text letting us know you emailed, or you can even give us a call, leave us a voicemail, leave us a question. 574-651-9256, or you can email us, gpopfans@gmail.com. It's that easy. Leave a nice review, and you could win a 1-month Game Pass Ultimate card. Again, the phone number, 574-651-9256. But that's enough begging. Let's get on to this episode while I turn off my phone.
Real
This is a big
professional.
one. This is a big one.
Is it still?
This is a big one. We're going to be talking about Destiny 2. Let's go over the details of this game. Developed by Bungie. You might have heard of them. They are known for the Halo franchise. Regular price is a little bit tough to talk about because this game eventually did go free to play, but we do have the... so there's a lot of DLC packs, etc., so it's hard to give you an exact price, but you can jump into the game for free, and the DLC packs range anywhere from $20 to $40, depending on what you want to get, etc. But if you are a Game Pass member, you do get everything. It's available on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation 4. There is not cross-play, but there is cross-save. So you can take your save from game to game if you want to go that route, if you want to start an Xbox, etc., etc. There is no Xbox Series X support yet. It will be dropping in about a week, featuring faster load times and a 60 frame rate cap instead of the 30, which is on the Xbox One X, which is also in 4K. On both of those enhanced machines. And for you Xbox Series S owners, you will get 1440p at 60 frames per second. Destiny 2. Let's talk about it.
This might be one you have to lead in on, because the whole point, well, a large point of this new update is for newcomers or people that start over, I guess, where it's like they give you a more cohesive start, a more sensible start to the game. And okay, so I restarted as a warlock again because it's the only good class in the game of the 3, and I didn't notice a huge difference to the way I started off. So if you can educate me, please do.
So, all right, you never want to start a conversation. Well, so I want to preface this up front of specifically, I wanted to go into Destiny 2 again without looking on the internet. I don't like that argument that a lot of people say, like, well, you just got to go on the internet. Like, you gotta follow a guide. You got to do this thing. And it's just like, no, like, I don't want to start this by harping on Destiny, because I feel like Destiny is a game that I should love. Like, Diablo is a part of my life. Like, I'm not exaggerating. I've spent so much time in those games. It's disgusting. And not to say like this is a Diablo game, but it's very much in that realm, right? Like, it's a loot game. Like, the whole point is to get more loot, to get stronger, to do the thing. And ever since even that original Destiny launched, I have had a love-hate relationship with one of the best feeling first-person shooters wrapped around a game that has no idea how to exploit it. And the original pitch for Destiny and all the quote BS that they tried to spew, it's just the pitch for this game, if you remember, was that like you're gonna go on adventures and you're gonna do these quests and you're gonna do these RPG quests that just they're gonna take you places and you're gonna find this loot and someone's gonna come up to you, you're gonna see this gun, they're like, whoa, where'd you get that gun, or where'd you get that helmet? That game never happened. And I say all this specifically because I played the original Destiny, and like many, I immediately fell off because I played it and there was just nothing there for me. And a lot of people claim they got there eventually. I disagree. But with Destiny 2, I think you and I hopped in day one.
We did, yeah.
Hoping they would get their crap together And I think it's fair to say that they didn't. I don't know how you feel on the subject, but I still feel like that a vanilla Destiny 2 experience is not where it's just not what the game should be.
Oh, 110%. And I played the crap out of Destiny 2 vanilla, but still, it never got to the point where, as you said, where they advertise it as, look at what this person unlocked, look what this person's using. It's really just like vanilla Destiny was really about getting the same exact gear as someone else, getting the same exotics, we're using them the same exact way. There was really no customization or diversity into how you played the game. Every warlock played the same warlock if you want to succeed. And to be honest with you, I'm not getting anything wildly different right now with the update.
So, like you said earlier, the whole point of this was that Bungie themselves was touting Destiny 2 Beyond Light as sort of it's not the rebirth of Destiny 2, but they've gone back and done some major things to it. They've pulled out a lot of content. They have streamlined the new player process. The whole point of Beyond Light was new experiences for people that have played the game, but also trying to bring new players or even lapsed players back in. Lapsed players back in. And that kind of speaks to me. Like, that was just someone who had played Destiny 2 and immediately just after, 40, 50 hours, just like, look, I'm done. Like, I'm beating my head against this wall that I feel like I'm never actually conquering. So that was extremely intriguing to me. And I had actually tried to hop in. So they had tried something similar to this. I don't remember which expansion it was, but at one point they basically just ripped out. That's not fair. They cut out the grind. Like, you would start a new character and you were a certain light level automatically.
Right.
Like, they just gave you everything. And I tried playing that version of Destiny, and I think you did too, briefly, but you bounced off pretty hard. But it's just like, the problem with that version of the game was they literally just dumped you into this game with hundreds of quests, no guidance, nothing. And that was extremely infuriating.
And that was definitely an update for people who I feel like already have the game and wanted to start a new character, because it couldn't have been for newcomers. And if it was a misstep.
Yeah, I cannot say with certainty what the purpose of that update was. To me, it didn't serve anything. So to wrap this back into Beyond Light, I have played extensively Destiny 2 Beyond Light, to the point to where I would say I've got a very good grasp on the player experience of someone who is not a Destiny aficionado. I do not go online. I do not search for things. I do not get the help of friends. It was very important to me that I didn't want to do that. And I think the new player experience of Destiny 2 Beyond Light is pretty good. I think they do a lot of good things to introduce you to what Destiny 2 is. Even though they've ripped out a lot of the campaigns, even though they have removed a lot of that original content, they do sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? They give you the Cliff Notes version of the story. And I think that's extremely telling and a good thing, when that I can listen to the Cliff Notes version and I understand Destiny 2 more than I did before. Because it's an overly complicated story for no reason other than, I don't know, they hired a writer. Like, I will never look at Destiny
exactly
2.
What it was. They hired a writer, and then they just kept adding. And I think it's almost like, correct me if I'm wrong, because I do not know, but it feels like they just got, when they went to expand on the story, they got a new writer or a new set of writers or added writers, and they tried to take what, as you said, an overly complicated story for no reason, and they tried to add on that. It's just like, no, just stop. Just simplify it, if anything.
Yeah,
don't add on to it.
It very much kind of feels like, though, like Halo 2, where Halo 2 is a fun game, but that they try so hard with story that, like, you eventually just, like, your eyes just sort of glaze over. It's just like, dude, I don't care. Like, you're not telling anything in this world that is compelling to me other than there's light and the Guardians were all gone, and then the Traveler showed up and restored some of the light, but other people want to destroy the light. It's just like, dude, it's good versus evil. Why are we trying to overcomplicate this thing? This is not a story-driven game. This is not a Naughty Dog game. And this is more... It's not full-on Halo 3, but it's also not Halo 2. It's kind of in between, where Halo 3 very much was just like, look, this is it. We're going towards the end. Get there. Like, that's the story of Halo 3. There's some stuff sprinkled in for the people that care, which I am one of them. But at the end of the day, most people can just pick up that game and understand it's good versus evil. And that's basically what the story of this one is. There's new factions, there's new enemies, and it's a good versus evil storyline. I enjoy that of it. I enjoy that it's not trying to beat me over the head with this story. And I enjoy that there's a lot of guidance in this game. Now, the goal of Destiny 2 long term is to increase your light level, to get new weapons, to do a raid, to basically make the numbers go up. And that's
it's just funny because because you're exactly right. If you want to boil it down, the point of Destiny 2 or Destiny in general is to make the numbers go up. That's really it.
Which is fine. I want to preface that's fine. Like,
it can be fine.
Right. The premise is fine. That's all you do in Diablo, right? You just run around killing stuff to make the numbers go up. You want more. You want better equipment. You want more skills. You want new skills. You want better skills. You want to play the game better. You want to become more powerful. And while Beyond Light does a very good job, there's a couple things I really want to point out in Beyond Light that I really, really like. The first one is that it doesn't just drop you in and give you hundreds of quests and expect you to figure them out. One of my biggest gripes with Destiny 1 and 2 is exotics, right? We want to find cool stuff. I feel like that was impossible in Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 vanilla. Because it's almost like exotics are made for the fans in a way. It's like, we're going to overly complicate this so that way you have to go online and figure out how to do it. It reminds me of that, this is going to be a weird connection, but I promise it makes sense. It reminds me of Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat 2, back in the day, you couldn't go online and figure out the combos. You had to go to that arcade and you had to play that game and figure it out. And what happened was eventually when everyone started figuring out, Midway went and changed all the combos on people, specifically so they couldn't keep sharing information, because that is a huge part of that game is discovery. And it seems like Destiny never got that memo of, let me find the exotics, but let me find them organically. If I have to go online and search for something, and that's the only way I can get it, what's the point of it? What's the point of me following a guide saying, go here, go here, go here, go here? You've got to take me on a quest to do it. The exotics in Destiny 2, for the ones that I have found, is much more akin to that. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better at teaching me and helping me find exotic weapons, taking me on a quest, and I'm finding something at the end that is cool and unique. I like the... Go ahead.
I don't even like that. Not in a looter shooter. Just simply because like my point of view of it is, in the case of a looter shooter, like I'm thinking like it should be more akin to Borderlands, where give me some guns, give me a bunch of guns, give me a bunch of guns, give me a bunch of guns. Let me customize those guns however I want to, and let me come up with a build that is different from his build. Because at the end of the day, you going on this quest and I getting this gun is the same as me going on this quest getting this gun, and we have the same freaking gun. And we're going to have the same, because of that, we have the same freaking armor, the same freaking boots, the same freaking shoulder pads. None of it really, my issue still with Destiny is none of it really matters I mean, I honestly start to feel like I have more, customizable options with my character in a game like Ghost of Tsushima. Like, honestly, because at least then it's so simplified to where I'm like, all right, I'm going to build a Ronin that gets focuses on resolve on hit, while his run and revolves around damage being dealt or damage being done to him. Whereas like Destiny is like my warlock's going to have these 5 exotics, wear these at a time, and then his warlock's going to have these 5 exotics, wear these 5 at a time, and we're going to shoot our supers the same way, the same place, the same time. It's not going to be any different, and that's kind of like what my kind of beef is with this going in. Like, so I started my new character, I got a new warlock, and things are restructured for sure in a positive way as they should be. However, I'm already getting burnt out because I know at the end of this I'm going to have the same character as someone else. And if you compare it to like your like Diablo, it's like I can have my own. There are multiple character builds you can have there. So like my monk won't be the same as your monk, but it really makes no. This is not a loot game where you go online for the right reasons. You go because you used to go online, like you said, for like, what does this quest even mean? Now you go online to find the one build that you're supposed to play as, and that's it. Whereas opposed to if you look online for like Diablo, you'll have dozens and dozens of builds and just that go with your play style, and you can tweak that however you want. And I just really kind of missed that aspect in Destiny 2 because right now it's just the core gunfight to me. Other than that, there's really nothing else for me here. I don't like so far anyway. Again.
Well, so what I'll say is like yeah, like you're 100% right. I think that when you start boiling things down, and I want to go back a little bit and say I think that the ramp up to the quote end game of Destiny 2 is great. I would call it great. I thoroughly enjoyed my time tweaking my character and finding the right build quote for me. But as soon as I hit that end game, which granted was significantly longer than before, I started sort of seeing the seams come loose around like the 20-hour mark, which that's a long time. Like that is a long time to play a game and have something negative to say about it, if that makes sense. But I look at your Diablo 3 criticism and I wouldn't call it criticism, your analysis, and it's very, very true. Diablo 3 is a game that split a lot of people because they took out a lot of things that people really wanted, and even basic things like attribute points. Like you could not assign them where you wanted to. They basically did it automatically. And so many people had an issue with that because even though, like you said, you're going to build this character no matter like either you're either going to build it because you don't care, or you're going to go online and find the best build anyway, and you're just going to click the points exactly where someone tells you to. And you're going to put your skill trees exactly where someone tells you to. So when Diablo 3 started getting hate for all that, it was just like basically you're just picking different skills and making a different build. And like I'm totally fine with that because at least it's changing how I play the game. Like you might not enjoy that aspect of it. You might want to have the fine granularity. And while that's not a wrong answer, I don't think the wrong answer is also saying this way is bad. When you start comparing that to something like Destiny 2, by that 20-hour mark, when I'm looking for that variation, when I'm looking to play the game differently, it's just non-existent. Like no matter how I tweak the classes, no matter what skills I change, no matter what I do, I'm still just aiming for the face all the time. Like I'm not playing Destiny 2 any differently, which is a problem, but I need to commend it as well as this game feels awesome to play. This game is awesome to look at. Like traveling around that world, Destiny 2 has some of the best art you'll see in any video game ever made. It looks phenomenal.
The music's good too.
Yeah, and it just. But after that 20-hour mark, and once I found a couple exotics, and once it came time to sort of just, grind the game, I'm like, man, like, I am trying desperately to play this game differently any way that I can. Like, I need some sort of variation. It's just not there. It is not there at all. The only differences you have are the raid. And the raid is another thing to where it's extremely difficult for me to grasp, I guess you could say, is because very much like my previous arguments or my previous issues is that your chances of playing that raid with somebody who hasn't already played it and who's basically going to hold your hand and walk through it, pretty difficult, next to none. And the only way you're going to get that is you're basically going to have to find and search out people. It's like, hey, I want to do this raid, but I want to make sure that it's completely vanilla to somebody and nobody else has done it. That is legitimately some of the best content in Destiny, but it's damn near impossible to get to it.
And my issue, my larger issue, and I'm going to lay this mostly on Destiny, in the franchise of Destiny, because they started doing this first. My larger issue with the raid system in these online MMO lights is the raids aren't. They're always the most interesting part of the game. However, they're never MMO level good. like, what do I mean by that? So, I remember playing WoW back in the day, and getting ready for a raid was in itself its own activity. Like, you almost have to build up for like the few days to a week to be like, all right, we're going to raid this night. This is what we're going to get. This is what we're going to need. Let's prepare. You get into that raid. You're sitting down and you're going through this process of just unique almost each and every time. Just like, wow, we use this skill here. We just like, whereas Destiny 2 and the Destiny franchise in general, their raids are always the most exciting parts of the game. However, it's so paint by numbers that after a point where you can't really deviate from the process, and if something goes down, if something breaks bad, you don't really bounce back from it because there's a certain way you have to do certain things. You have to, and it never seems organic enough of a process for me. And I just wish we got to a point where the raids weren't so paint by numbers and more just organic. It's kind of like maybe pop a raid up in the field, if you will, like in the world, and instead of these public events that nobody cares about, other than maybe completing a world quest. Like, maybe turn that into, wow, what is this? Because that's what this game is lacking for me still. A wow, what is this moment? Like, it just, for a game that prides itself for some reason on adventure, there's none of it. There's just none. Like, this, like, you don't go anywhere, do anything, and go and text your buddy like, I just found this cave that has this thing in it that led to this cavernous part and fought this crazy thing and almost died. And there's never a story you tell from Destiny 2. It's always, we want to do a raid today? Yeah, all right. Invite Chris and what's his face, and we'll load in, we'll jump to the portal, and he stands there, I'll shoot from this location, and you pop your ultimate, and then we're good. We'll just do this until the boss changes his tactic, and then you stand there, I stand here, and it's like Destiny in a way is
it's the master of nothing. Like,
yeah.
It is the streamlined version of the game you want to play.
That's exactly it. because there's a game
And
there that
that's-
I want to get to, and it's just like,
Right.
no. This is what this is how you're gonna play. This is how you're gonna do it. This is how you're going to gear up for it. It's like, but what if I want to pick this kind of loadout? There are no other loadouts. You all have the same exotics. You all equip the same exotics the same way. You all have the same skills. You all equip the skills the same way. There's no deviating from the process here. And for a game that builds itself on adventure, is really tied to, pun intended, its own destiny. You have to follow the rules in this game.
And what drives me nuts, I think, more, and this is probably is this a fault against the game? I don't know. My biggest thing is that Bungie just needs to stop talking about it. Like, stop trying to sell me on something that it's not. Because every time they want to talk about Destiny, we're trying to build this adventure, and I play it, and I'm just like, look, man, I play this game, and I don't have anything crazy negative to say about it. Like, if you ask me, should I play Destiny 2? I'm gonna be like, maybe. like go in knowing that like it's not gonna blow your mind. Like, there's nothing about it. Like, the campaign's not gonna blow your mind. The patrols aren't gonna blow your mind. The strikes aren't gonna blow your mind. The lost sectors aren't gonna blow your mind. My favorite part of Destiny 2 is Gambit. I absolutely love Gambit mode. It's a ton of fun. And it's because I have to play the game differently. But when Bungie wants to talk about it, it's always just like, it reminds me of, no, never mind. I won't make that. That's too off tangent. Just stop talking about it. Like, stop promising me and under delivering. Because if you would stop doing that and just let me play the game and let me find things and experience things, that'd be great. But instead, Destiny 2 turns into a collectathon. Like, I'm collecting armor and I'm collecting exotics that I don't even use, by the way, because the way that the exotics are structured, you can't hold two or use two at the same time for whatever reason. Like, I guess it'd be too OP somehow, even though the exotics are the most interesting part of the game. I can't use them as freely as I want to. Like,
that's a thing games are taking more and more a liberty with for some reason. The same thing happens in Ghosts. You can only use one at a time unless you use a perk that lets you use two. And I'm not.
Why? Why are you stopping me from the most interesting part of your game?
It's nonsense. It's complete and utter nonsense. There's also a thing with the weaponry that I noticed that they changed is you need masterworks now to beef up your guns or change the gun statistics or whatever, and it's like I don't like that at all. So now so to add to your already collectathon of a game, you added the idea of masterworks that I now have to farm for if I want to change my gun. Whereas before, I believe I can just kind of feed the gun to another gun to make it more powerful, but now I have to find a masterwork to do it. But again, like, why are you gating me off from customizability? Just let me play this game, and then to your point, stop talking about it. I'll double down. Don't stop talking about it. Just add things, like let there be an update to where, whoa, is there a new planet? Do you know there's a new planet out there? Wait, there's new part of the moon. Do you know there's a new part of the moon? Like who's this new enemy? Like, just throw things out there. Give us things for us to wow about. Give us things as you've advertised for year after year after year after year. Give us things to just discover, and because there's really nothing to talk about. Like, I mean, this is one of the games I could talk about forever, but at the same time, there's nothing to talk about. Like,
well,
do you like Destiny?
2,
then it's Destiny.
The story of Destiny 2 is constantly like, I don't know, I play it sometimes. And I feel like we all go back to it because we know what this team is capable of, and maybe it's our own fault. Again, maybe this team just can't do it. I don't know, and I don't want to sound like, oh, they don't know how to do their job. But again, it's just like, I think everyone tries. It's like drugs. Everyone tries Destiny 2 at one point, and one of two things happens: either you just bounce off right away because you're just like, no, this is stupid, or you keep playing, trying to find, some depth somewhere, and you find a little bit and you're like, all right, like there has to be more here, right? And there isn't. Like that's it. The loop of Destiny 2 is very, very shallow. And that's where for me it just completely misses the mark, in that you can always make the argument. It's like, well, yeah, you're doing the same thing over and over in Diablo 2 or Diablo 3. And it's like, but the difference is as I'm playing the game differently. And that's, even if it's subtle, like if it, the end game of Diablo 2, even it's not fair, because the end game of Diablo 2 takes 18 times as long to get there. The lead up to the end game of Diablo 2 is just the fact that I have different skill trees means that I'm going to play the game differently. I'm going to either be more aggressive, be more defensive, whatever the instance is. I feel like I have some sway in how I am playing my character. That's just not the case in Destiny 2. And I don't know if it's the fact that it's rooted in its first person shooter, issues, but then I look at something like Borderlands and I'm just like, that skill tree has some depth to it. And it is slightly more shallow because it's an FPS, whereas an RPG, I think you just have more lanes that you can go down. But Borderlands does it. And while I don't even really like Borderlands, I can look at that game and see that there's a path there that is just more enjoyable to someone who is trying to just play an RPG. And I don't know, it just...
I think it comes down a lot to expectation as well. You have this team delivering this message, and it's like, for me, I instantly see the cracks in the armor. Like, just your messaging does not add up to the experience. Whereas if I look at a game like Ghost of Tsushima, the messaging at one point was, "We're releasing a free update." What's an update? Cooperative play, some raiding stuff, just some things. And it's like they didn't go too deep into it. You just kind of knew there was this big update coming, and when it came, it's like, oh, I can play with my friends. Oh, there's harder modes. Oh, there's this raid, and it's like, because of the messaging and the down and how they almost downplayed. It's kind of like you got a little more hype about it. On top of that, they lean into their strengths a lot more, whereas Destiny keeps trying to lean into this adventure aspect, and that's not your strength. Your strength is the gunplay. Compared to Ghost, where I think Sucker Punch knows, like, the core gameplay loop here is simply swinging your sword around. Like, so we're not going to create a online portion where we're going to deep and dive inside the story or in the character. Like, no, we're just going to give you more opportunities to swing your sword around. And
right. Well, and the other thing with that is that they also don't take forever to get there. Like, sometimes, like, the core gameplay, like you said, of Destiny 2 is the shooting, and sometimes you go a long time without shooting. Like, stupid's amount of time. Is that a stupid's amount of time? Yeah,
no. That's fantastic.
Intelligent there.
That's a fantastic point. I didn't mean to interrupt you. That's a fantastic point. I just want to get that out because my cousin who was watching me play Destiny 2 the other day. He's like, "What game is this?" I'm like, "This is Destiny 2." He's like, "Oh, I thought this was like a shooting game." Because he saw me just walking around like as this ghost was talking to me, and no one cares. No one cares. Just get down.
Just
to
let
the
me
shooting.
shoot stuff and just. I don't know. It's super frustrating. Like, we've been mostly down on it, but what I want to say is, like, I went into Beyond Light really wanting to fall in love with Destiny, and I think that's part of my problem. Is like I just feel like this should be a game that speaks to me. Like, every time they talk about it, I'm like, yeah, like that sounds cool, and then I play it, I'm like, you're always just like right on the tip of really capturing something. And I feel like that original game was like their screw up, and not to give them a pass, but like that deal with Activision clearly didn't do them any favors because they were forced to just make so much content, and it ended up just being like a first-person shooter with some extra content. And Destiny 2 seems like they were getting there, but Beyond Light definitely feels like they heard us. They heard us, and they heard the fans, and they heard the people playing, of just being like, look, man, we know you can do this, but you just got to do it. Like, you've got to deliver on these promises, and it feels like they're trying. But here we are. Was it 4 years later? 3 years later? It's too much time for us to be at the point where it's like, maybe they're getting there. Like, I can start to see them, they're not held back anymore. There's no contracts. There's no obligations. They're getting there.
I don't think they're focusing on the right part of their core strengths. And the same thing happened with the Halo franchise. Like the thing we come here for, the majority of us, is the gunplay. I feel like they should almost focus on just that. Like it's like you said. Like, I played 3 or 4 matches of Gambit. Holy crap!
It's fun.
Like,
it's so
holy
good.
crap!
It's so
like,
good.
Like now it's like, oh, not only am I just shooting things, but I have it's almost giving me reason on top of reason on top of reason to shoot things. Purpose on top of purpose. It's like, oh, I gotta shoot this, but do I have to shoot this like right now? Should I shoot this over here first? And it's like, it keeps you engaged in a way where it's not
reward. The risk reward is so good. It's just like, I really should bank these, because not only if I bank them, that's going to send a blocker their way. But if I keep going, I could get a bigger blocker. But then there's a chance I'll die. There's also a chance I'll be invaded. So like, there's such a awesome risk reward with it. And I'm just like, man, I wish this was the whole game.
If they took Gambit and made it a raid form, they would ruin it by saying, all right, here is the collection portion of the process. Now, here is the invasion portion of the process. Now, here's the boss, shoot him in the face. It's like, where Gambit's like, no, we're doing all of that at the same time. We're just going to roll all of that in. And it's like, give me more, focus on your strengths. Focus on your core. Focus on making reasons to shoot things in different ways for different purposes, rather than trying to drag me along this quest like raid or this story driven portion of nonsense that I just don't care about. Like, focus, like, give me better game types on, like, better multiplayer game types, or give me like just a straight up freaking horde mode. Like, why don't you guys have a basic horde mode? Because that's where your strength lies. It's not in storytelling, and it's not in drip feeding stages of content.
Yeah, and
like, I wish I could say more good about the game, but it's not that the game is bad, but
it's frustrating.
If you're already playing Destiny, you already playing Destiny,
right? Which I understand. Like, I can look at someone that plays Destiny and that's their main game. I'm just like, yeah, man, I get it. Like, there's stuff about that game you really enjoy, but when it comes to, the point of this podcast and suggesting to new players, the one thing that I've noticed is, so I guess I lied a little bit. Eventually I did go online because I wanted to see what I was missing. And I started talking to some people that have played Destiny 2. And the thing is a lot of them, when I asked the questions, of like, what am I missing here? Like, what exotics am I missing? What are all the things that I'm supposed to be doing that the game either hasn't explained to me or I'm too stupid to figure out? And most of them, almost majority, were just like, you haven't really missed anything. It's just that Destiny 2 just doesn't, Destiny in general, it doesn't have a great focus. Like, there's a lot of little pieces that are really good, but the overall structure is still extremely messy. And these are the people that like the game are saying, like, yeah, like, it's messy, like, but we still enjoy it. And I'm like, that's great. Like, I'm glad that you found it. But it seems strange to me that we're still at this point of just like, maybe they're starting to get it together. And like, they've already announced the next 2 years of content in terms of expansions. And it's like, that's fantastic that you're doing all of this. But when it comes to trying to suggest this to a new player, I'm truly torn, because while I think that the core gameplay of Destiny is fantastic, you'll have fun shooting things. Especially now with that new ramp up, you can go on some awesome quests and find a couple great things. But everything past that is still I think it's just boring. I think it's a boring grind that is not fulfilling. And the best game mode, which is Gambit, by far, doesn't really net you anything positive.
I completely agree.
It's a struggle because I think if you played this game for 20 hours and played some Gambit, done. Like that would be solid. But it's almost the fact that the other stuff is there and it's not good that I'm like, well, you shouldn't play it. But then again, I'm like, well, I think you should though, because it's still some of the best shooting. So I don't know. It's just it's tough to find that middle ground and know which side of the fence I'm on, I guess.
It's hard for me to recommend this.
Well,
you know what? As you said before, it takes so long to get to that. See, that's the thing. It doesn't take that long to get to endgame anymore.
With Beyond Light, it definitely takes longer, but it's not a crazy amount of time. But like then I go back and I look at stuff like Sea of Thieves, and that game kind of has a lot of similar problems. But at the end of the day, I think you can. It almost has the opposite problem where there's so much of that core gameplay, which is great. Like sailing around in that game is a majority of that game, and it's so much fun. But the stuff you're doing around it doesn't play into those strengths. Whereas Destiny, it sort of does. Like at the end of the day, you're still shooting things, but there's not enough to shoot. So it's like, those games are very similar in the way of just like, man, I just want to go on adventures, and I feel like you keep stopping me. like in Sea of Thieves, it's like, well, you want to go kill some snakes? I'm like, no, I don't. Like, I don't want to kill any snakes. Well, how about this pirate with this cool hat? No, I don't want to do that. I want to go sail and find things.
I almost wish instead of having 4 or 5 different planets, and I put that in quotations, quote unquote planets, just have one big planet. Focus and just focus on discovery and just make it super deep with and rich with content instead of just painting a new, this is the hot planet, this is the cold planet, and this one you have public events and you get to collect things, and on this one this is the cold planet where you collect things and have public events, and it's like you don't. There's no difference. Like there's no reason to go from Mars to Pluto to anywhere else. Doesn't matter. Just
unless the quest tells you to.
Yeah, just stay on the one. Just stay on the one spot and just make it super deep. Like it's all so. Destiny is so superficial. It looks so good.
The marketing pitch.
It just look like when you're playing it looks good. It sounds good. It's visually just engaging. Then it's like you get to the meat of it. It's like there's really nothing here, is it? Like and it's this Destiny 2, while not a bad game by a long stretch, it is still remains one of the more disappointing games to me. From Destiny 1 to Destiny 2, it's just like
it's the same game. Like
it's the same exact game. And all you gotta if it gets focused on something. Just the one thing. Like again, I go back to games like it because every game wants to be the new Destiny. Like I go back like Ghost of Tsushima. If I boot that up right now, I get to the start menu. I hit Legends mode. I hit Nightmare Week, and I'm in a game with 3 buddies, and I'm going in and I'm just slashing things. Point blank. Period. We're in and we're out. If we want to do it again, we get to do it again. Whereas Destiny is like, all right, it's time to sit down and play some Destiny. It's like, but when do I just get to like the shooting massive horrors? It's like, oh no, hold on, you gotta do this jumping puzzle first. It's like, why am I doing a jumping puzzle? Like, fine, do the jumping puzzle. Like, okay, now I get to shoot this. Like, hold on, this is the key sequence. You have to stand over there while he jumps on his head and he spins around, rubbing his belly. It's like, just get me to the action. It's the best thing you guys do. Like,
that's
just
why you play
focus
Gambit.
on that.
You play Gambit and you have a grand old time, and then you get your reward at the end, which doesn't mean anything because Gambit doesn't take any power levels into consideration, which is the right move. I'm not saying it should, but I don't know. Like to me, like if I'm drilling down, that is the biggest story for me is that Gambit is by far the most fun of that game, and everything around Destiny 2 doesn't play into it. The weapons don't really matter because You have a pulse rifle, an auto rifle, sniper rifle, whatever, but your power levels and your attachments don't have any play into Gambit mode, because in order to make it fair, they have to strip all that stuff out. So it's like, it's basically like a Call of Duty game at that point. Like, it just, everyone's got the same grenades. Maybe one's orange, maybe one's purple, maybe one sticks, maybe one doesn't. Like, maybe someone's got a rocket launcher, maybe someone's got a grenade launcher. But the point is you all have power ammo and you all have regular ammo. That's it. Like, and that's the most fun of that game, because the shooting is the best fun part of that game. Everything around it, does anybody like patrols? Honestly.
God, why is that still in the game? Like,
does anybody like patrols?
When it was running me through the introduction sequence, and they brought me to one of the patrols, I'm like, oh, this is still in the game? Like, really? Like, I thought we were getting rid of the nonsense. Like, why are we doing like no one? Also, there's still like material you can pick up. Like, why is that still in the game? You don't need
the glimmer.
Get that out too. Get the materials off the world.
I maxed out the glimmer, and I don't.
I opened a box and got like 3 tumbleweeds or something, and it's like moonshine tumbleweeds. I'm like, why are we still dealing with this nonsense? This no one likes collecting these from like, if they cut all the fat, and there's so much fat in this game, cut all the fat and just focus on the gunplay. Like take it back to like Halo 2 days, multiplayer. Just like focus on that, and you have yourself a pristine little title here. But then it's like, no. We gotta tell our story, and we gotta go on our quest in this adventure. Like, no one cares, Bungie.
These games just don't work, do they? Like, everyone's trying to do it, and all of them fail. like what? Warframe is probably the only one that's like legitimately a different game from when it first started, right? Like,
it's so different. Like, yeah, like it's a 100% different game. But
like the Division tried it. Division's good, but who's still playing the Division? Look at the Avengers. The Avengers bombed hard, and why is it? Because at the end of the day, the core gameplay isn't there, but they focus so hard on, like, you can have all these different Avengers, you can get all this different stuff, you can do blah blah blah, and then people are playing like, yeah, but it's boring to play. Like, well, yeah, but look, you can be Red Hulk. I don't care if it's boring to play. Like,
I mean, like, it's
Anthem.
sound...
Look at Anthem.
Oh, that's coming to us. We have that, don't we? Yeah.
Yeah, it's on there.
I mean, funny enough, to sound like the PlayStation fanboy that I am, I think Ghost of Tsushima does it almost the right way, where it's like, here's a single player game. Are you tired of that? Cool. Here's some online stuff for you. It was like, cool.
I don't even like that game, but the multiplayer is awesome.
Cool. and it's not the best thing ever. It's just cool. No. It's just like, hey,
it's
here's this thing.
And fun to play.
And I don't have to worry about it. They're not begging me to come back every day. They're not begging me to, hey, you have to come here and get this exotic. You have to hunt this quest. You have to hunt for this. Like, no. If you want better gear, jump on, kill everything, and you got some better gear to kill everything again. And it understands its core concept. We are samurai, ronin, assassins, whatever, and we're here to kill things. After we're done killing things, we get better gear to kill more things. Whereas you have games like Anthem and Destiny and Avengers who are like, all right, how do we make this a service so that it makes people come back?
You boot it up every single day and you have something to do.
It's like no. It's busy work at that point.
I don't know. The hardcore people will always like it because they want something new to do every day. But most people, I think, just don't care. They don't want to turn it on every single day. Every time they turn it on, they want something new. But that doesn't mean you've got to give them something new every single day. Like, I don't know. We're going on a tangent now. Destiny 2, to wrap it up, while I think Beyond Light is a glimmer of hope, I still think it's just not there yet. Like, the part that sort of, like, it's great that they're no longer in the Activision deal, because that deal very clearly stifled them. And I think Beyond Light is proof of that. That when they're given time and the freedom to do what they want, versus having to hit these deadlines and having to hit these expansions, et cetera, they do better work. But the fact that it's now 2020, we're how many years since the original Destiny? 6? 5? 6? And it still has the same problems is telling. Like, when you look at other games, like a Diablo 3, you know, it took them a year and a half, 2 years to get there. But once they got there, even people that were mad about Diablo 3 were like, all right, like, I'm into this now. Like, maybe it's not the perfect game, but I see what they're trying to do. They've done what they can to fix it, and they just they give you new sets, they give you new armor sets. And even though that's not how I want to play Diablo, I can see the carrot on the stick, and I'm having a good time with it. I just don't think that's here. And it after so many years, it's just like, it's hard for me to be like, yeah, maybe you should hop in now because I think they might get there. When in reality, I don't want to say I don't want to say I don't think that's going to happen because it could. My gut is telling me that at the end of the next 2 years, which they've already talked about the content, I think we're still going to be having the same conversation of like, it's almost there, but it's still not there.
Oh yeah, I completely agree. The focus is, I mean, this is not an easy job by any stretch, and they're trying to listen to a lot of voices, and the diehards like they have to listen to two different groups primarily. The group that essentially wants to play, got tired of playing and no longer plays, or in the group that consistently plays, but more importantly, consistently pays. So they try to get both those groups, and like the people from group A who just kind of fell out of love with the game or kind of lack interest, they need to figure out what their real focus is going to be going forward. And it's not story, character, content. It's not these intricate raids that take the shooting out and replace it with traversing and switch flipping nonsense. It's going to be the core gameplay. I want to jump into Destiny, play a quick 15-20 minutes before I go to work. I want to hit some Destiny before I go to bed tonight. I want to play a quick session here and there. That's the people. That's what they need to get down, because this other content is just not. It's not winning me over, and they keep fighting the fans, especially in terms of how to make that content good anyway. So just do what you do well. Like you came up with a Gambit. What else can you do?
Yeah, I agree. It's just so frustrating because I feel like this is a game I should love, and I'm trying to, but it's just fighting me the whole way. And again, while I think that initial kind of up, the new quest for the end game to get there is much, much better. I still just I can't in good faith to be like, yeah, I think you should hop into this, because I think there's just better stuff to play. Again, and it's so frustrating, but it is what it is. So I'm sure there's going to be someone who vastly disagrees, but that's our opinion when it comes to Destiny 2. Play something else. Boom.
Dang, man, harsh.
All right, that's going to do it for this episode. You can email us, gpopfans@gmail.com. Again, we're going to be giving away an Xbox Live Game Pass Ultimate 1 month. All you got to do is leave us a review on iTunes and then shoot us a text message or email or phone number or voicemail, whatever you want to do. Ask us a question while you're here. 574-651-9256. Again, 574-651-9256. It's December. It's almost the end of the year, so it means it's almost time for our Game of the Year episode. So, well, most places do a Game of the Year. You know, it's all the games that came out that year. We do it a little bit different. It makes things a little more interesting. We talk about every game. Well, I shouldn't say we talk about. We're going to pick a top 10. Is that what we did last year? Now I'm contradicting myself.
No, we did not do that last year.
We did a top 3. I'm sorry. That's right. So we narrow it down to a top 10, and then we pick a top 3 with a, quote, Game of the Year, and then the 2 runners-up. But we do it with every game we've played. So the game might have come out last year, might have come out this year, might have been a day one game, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a lot of fun. We have fun with it. I think it's a good time, and we go into more nitty gritty, and we start comparing games that probably shouldn't be compared to each other, like Crusader Kings 3 versus Doom Eternal. Like, no one in their right mind would compare those games, but we're going to. So that's gonna be coming out in the next couple weeks, and then we're gonna take a couple weeks off as we normally do. But yeah, so I guess Call of the Sea is coming out on the 8th. Is that going to be our last game for the year, I think?
As long as we catch up, it should be, right?
Yeah, so I guess we got time for one more game. We both have played Unruly Heroes, but I don't know. I mean, do we have enough to play that? Do we want to play something else? What do we want to do?
So we got policy. I mean, I think we should spin the wheel at some point.
Okay, so here's the problem. I feel like we keep spinning the wheel, but do we ever? But obviously, our schedule gets messed up because some games take longer than others, and life happens and stuff. The last time we spun the wheel was Dishonored 2, and we didn't play it. So I feel like we're doing the wheel.
Oh no, we played it. We played. I mean, I played it.
I didn't, honestly. I just had too much going on.
I definitely played it, and I had some choice words for that game as well.
So I feel like we're doing the wheel disservice. Is my point.
I mean, the wheel is just the wheel. It's supposed to. Again, for me, part of Game Pass adventure here is, yeah, you have 1,000 games, but are only 10 games worth playing? Let's find out. I mean, I could just play all your good games and say, yeah, Game Pass is great.
But it's more I don't want to spin the wheel and then not play the game again.
All right, I feel like that's a you issue. You should play the games that we pick.
Maybe. But then part of me is also like, we had the idea of like, hey, like, just pick a game. Like, this looks interesting. Pick the game. And that was Unruly Heroes for me. All right, I think we have to do an episode on Unruly Heroes. We just have to. I've decided we have to.
We've already decided that. Right. That's in.
But I think we also have to spin the wheel, and we've got to do the wheel justice. We've got to play that game no matter what it is. I don't care if it's Destiny 2, and I'm not playing that anymore. You don't need another episode of Destiny 2. But what if we get something bad? Like, what do we do?
I mean, you mean like a Microsoft exclusive? Like it happens.
Wow, he said it, not me. All right, I'm gonna spin this wheel. You ready for this?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right, here we go. We already played that. It was Halo Wars Definitive Edition. Halo 3, we already played that. That's the other one. We got to get back to that Halo since Halo will be coming out at some point. Death's Gambit. What is this?
Death's Gambit.
I have never even heard of this. The promise of immortality lies at the heart of Cyrodiil, as Death's right hand challenge the undying guardians of the realm and endure the eternal struggle to purge their souls. But what reward awaits a faithful servant of Death? Death's Gambit is a hardcore 2D action platformer with rich RPG elements. Master the precise combat utilizing a wide variety of weapons and abilities to confront the horrors that lurk deep within Cyrodiil. Explore a mysterious and unforgiving world and uncover the true price of mortality. Embrace the challenge of being an agent of death. You said death a lot of times there, game. So, all right, Death's Gambit. Apparently, it's only on PC. So there you go. I'm trying to see like the screens. My screens aren't loaded. First of all, there looks like there's some Beedrill enemies, and Beedrill will mess you up, man. That Pokemon is scary. So you got that going for us. So there you go. We're going to do an episode on Unruly Heroes and Death's Gambit. In what order, I do not know. But then after that, we're also going to be playing the last game of the year, which will be... I already forgot the name of it. What was it called?
Sea of Thieves.
No. Not Sea of Solitude. What the heck's the name of that game?
Seastone Wars Part 2. Sea Stranding.
I already said it. That's the problem. This all right, this is driving me nuts.
See you later on the next podcast.
No.
Later, guys.
I'll cut out this awkward lull, but what the fuck was the name of that game?
G-Lab 2020.
Sea of Control. That's what it was. Call of the Sea.
Yeah.
Call of the Sea. That's what it was called. Dang. We're also going to be playing Call of Sea because that is a day one game. So those are your final 3 games for December. And then we will also be doing our game of the year. So, right, that's going to do for this episode. Again, you can leave us a voicemail, 574-651-9256, gpopfans@gmail.com. You want to win that 1 month Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription. All you got to do is leave us a review, shoot us a message, and the first 3 people will be entered in to win that. So 33%. If you're listening to this right now, do it. You might be the first one to do it. There you go. What else can you ask for? All right, that's going to do it for this episode. We will see you next time with one of those 3 games.
Life insurers put life into the things you live for. The new factory that's hiring your neighbors. Maintenance on the bridge that keeps traffic flowing. The paycheck that puts pizza night on the table. Life insurers contribute $8 trillion to the U.S. economy through bond purchases and other investments, and protect the financial security of 90 million American families, like yours. See how life insurers put life into America at acli.com. Paid for by the American Council of Life Insurers.